Hey, you ever been to Chancellor Park? That's where I live. My name is Tavin Dillard, and I live in a trailer park called Chancellor Park, and I mow lawns. I'd like to introduce you to my town. I've been making YouTube videos since about 2006, and then I've transitioned over to other platforms like the TikToks and the whatnot. But here on this podcast, I'd like to clue you into what's going on with me here lately. And this is like the pre-introduction. Now I'm going to send it off to myself for the real introduction. I'm glad you joined me. Bink, bink. Welcome to the Tavin Dillard podcast, y'all guys. Season number 3. Episode number 2. My name, Tavin Dillard. I mow lawns. I live in Chancellor Park. Do you know that? There are some things I know pretty good, like how to get to the burger shed, and then there's some things I don't know. But whether you listen to many of these podcast episodes, or this is your first one, I do want to say welcome. And I want to thank y'all guys for giving me feedback because, you know, on my videos, I do videos, you can see them on the YouTubes or the Facebooks or the Instagrams or the TikToks. People leave comments on them. And people can message me and say, hey, boy, it's funny or whatever. But on the podcast, it's a little different. I feel it's kind of like you alone, like I'm just talking right now. And then I'm going to send this podcast out there. And then I don't know what you think unless you let me know. So y'all that have been texting me, 501-322-6249. I'll put that number in the show notes so it's easy to get to later. Because you might be driving a car or driving a school bus. I don't know what you're driving right now. Maybe you on a run. Maybe you on a walk. Maybe you sitting down and you eating like a ham sandwich. I don't know, but that's going to be for your convenience in the show notes. Because when y'all let me know, then that helps me get an idea on how this thing is going, you know. I like that. And the other way that you can do it, I guess for podcasts, really, the way it works is for your ears. It's like a radio show. Is that wherever you listen, like on the iTunes, like the podcast there, you can leave a review. And you leave a review, then I know what you thought about it. Like you leave your words there. And then you can also rate it too. But that helps a lot. So appreciate y'all doing that and sharing it with friends. And we now into season 3 and episodes number 2. How's your week gone? I mean, I sure hope it's well. Me, I'm doing pretty good, as they say. Now, if you joined me last week, you already know that there's some work being done to Early Bird Gets the Perm, which is where Meemaw gets her hair did. I mean, I guess like a beauty shop's what you call it. I never thought to call it a beauty shop. I just call it Early Bird Gets the Perm. But basically, if you think about it, if you just stop and think about them words, and then you say, what goes on in there? And you say, well, that's where them gals get their hair did, you know, and they get the curls in their hair and the perms, and then they sit under them old dryer things and with their magazines, and they talk and all that kind of thing. Then, yeah, that's pretty well describes a beauty shop the way I see it. So it's supposed to look real nice along with their new logo, which maybe word has gotten out that somebody you hear and talk right now drawed it. Now, not your neighbor who's in a fight with their brother and you can hear them through the walls. No, me, I drawed that logo. And it's going to be, rumor has it too, on t-shirts at some point and all that. That's what they say. So I'll let y'all know. Right now, we in the throes, we in the middle of, we in the eye of a wonderful launch called the No Pro shirt. I bring the snacks. It's got a fish on it. It says No Pro. It says I bring the snacks underneath. It's my new shirt and got a big response from it, which I guess shouldn't surprise me because folks said, I want that shirt. And what I learned over the last year and a half or so is when folks say, hey, I really like that shirt. And then somebody else says, well, when's that going to be a shirt? And then somebody says, hey, I want that on a shirt. Then it would behoove me to get a shirt made so that folks can have some nice, comfortable gear to go fishing and snacking in. And that's what we got. And you can get one too. You see that at the link in my, well, it's not the link in my bio, it's the link in the show notes. You know, on them video pages like TikTok, it's your bio that they call it, like your biography. But on the podcast, it's your show notes. So you can check that there. Here, let me just set the show notes up for you right now. And then you can get on with the podcast along with me. And here's what you're going to find. You're going to see how to get after the shirt, the new shirt, and all my shirts, and it'll say it real clear there, and there's a link for that. You want to text me, you'll see how to do that in the show notes. You want to email me, you'll see that. And firstly, top of the list, first thing you're going to see when it comes to them links is Tavin's Honey from Bees. Bee House Honey, they sponsored this podcast this season, and I got my face on a jar of honey. It is the season for honey, y'all guys. You can have it in your oatmeal. You can have it on fresh fruit. You can have it on a hot butter dinner roll. It's softer than a baby angel's egg. Have it on your biscuits. Put it in your tea. But get you some and share it with some folks. It's good. It's good honey. I had it. Probably don't surprise you, but I had it. And you can check that in the link in the bio. Anyhow, Tavin's Honey from Bees is what you're going to check out there. Now, I know you might be driving right now, so just bookmark it in your head that you need to check out that link and check out the show notes, at least for the beautiful label. And it ain't just because my face is on it. That ain't it, y'all. A little known fact is that I drawed that bee on the label, too. And I am an artist. Check out that honey jar and you tell me. That's Tavin Honey from Bees waiting for you. Try it out. Get 2 jars, you know, so folks ain't fighting over it. Well, speaking of arguments, there's a little fight between management down at Early Bird Gets the Perm this week. Allow me, if you will, to paint a picture of what's going on with this little hiccup they had there this week. Firstly, Chet Dilroy's wife, Gracie's running that place. She's the manager. And Chet Dilroy's sister-in-law, Dillard, has started to help her. So that's how that goes. This gal Cricket that I'm dating won't go to Early Bird Gets the Perm because she says most ladies leave that place with the same hairdo. And what if you don't want that one hairdo? You out of luck. Mima loves it. I mean, it's probably 75% social and the rest haircut for Mima when she down there. Early Bird Gets the Perm. She'll gab all day, you know, with them gals, and they got all kind of things to talk about. I ain't a mathologist, and them ain't hard numbers, that 75%, but that's how that go. I think that's pretty accurate. They've had Cody Mantell's wife, Lindy Ray, working them appointments at the front desk. And the reason she doing that is because she did some bad stuff to hair. So they said, well, you just handled the telephone and the notepad up front to make, you know, appointments or whatever. So she got demoted to like mannequins before she takes somebody's real hair on again. She got to show that she can, you know, perm a mannequin or whatever. And that's kind of what happened this week. Dillard got there early. And she's seen Lindy Ray waiting in the parking lot. So, you know, she unlocks the front door so Lindy Ray can get in there and they kind of opening up the store. Well, at the same time, a few of them construction fellas is there because they working on the store right now. And they giving Early Bird Gets the Perm a facelift. You know, that's the big thing. Now, I mean, part of this is they replacing some wood around door frames, window frames, but they're doing a whole new paint job, and then they're going to put the logo, I think, on a sign out front. It's the logo I drawed, y'all guys, and it's the one they supposed to put on shirts, they say, at some point, and I'll let you know if they do. But that's where they go. And anyways, Lindy Ray say, I told one of them fellas his wife could come here early and I'd give her a discount to do her hair. Like Lindy Ray just told Dillard, you know, who's helping run the store along with Gracie, that basically, hey, I'm making my own appointments and I know I ain't supposed to do hair, but I am doing hair. So thanks for unlocking it for me, kind of thing. And Dillard says to her, I thought you was just on mannequins. And then Lindy Ray said, well, it's been a few months. I think I'm ready. And she knows. I told her I need to work on a real person. She's getting a discount, so she ain't got to pay full price. So she's telling this lady that she's going to do her hair. She's like, hey, I'm supposed to really be on mannequin duty in real life, so I'm going to give you a discount. But truth be told, Lindy Ray ain't supposed to be working on anybody's head, no matter how deep the discount kind of thing. And Dillard shrugs because she didn't know. She said, okay, but that's it, just this one gal. And then you back to mannequins till Gracie says so. And, you know, Lindy Ray just says, thanks, Dillard. And Lindy Ray waves some lady inside who's sitting in her husband's pickup truck in the parking lot. Now, this is like an hour before store's supposed to open. So ain't no other customers there. You know, parking lot's empty other than them construction workers and Dillard's car and Lindy Ray's car. Dillard start working on some orders for shampoo and curlers or whatever you order when you run in a hair shop. I don't know what else they do. I don't know if there's them little things. I know at barbershops, they tuck that little tissue or little towel in your neck so that hair don't get, you know, run down the back of your back, then you itching all day long or that kind of thing. So maybe she ordering some of them too. I don't know what else they order. Probably magazines. You got to keep a steady stream of magazines, but I don't know if they even read them. They hold them in front of their face, but then they turn to the gal next to them and they start talking. So I don't know how much of them magazines they even get through. It may be the same magazine every week, so maybe she ain't ordering them, but she's ordering hair shop stuff. Let's put it to you like that. So Lindy Ray gets going on this gal. Apparently, she wanted her hair frosted on the ends. They calling that like frosted tips. Well, Lindy Ray wasn't too sure about that. But she also didn't want to act like she didn't know. So you see where this might be going. So she talked the lady into some bangs because I guess she really been practicing cutting bangs or cutting hair like in a straight line on them hair dummies, them mannequins, and she really wanted to do that. So instead of basically doing what the customer wanted, Lindy Ray wanted to do what she wanted, because, you know, she got skills there. She confident. She hopeful. She thinks she can do that well to where that lady want to come back. You ever heard of the saying that the customer's always right, though? Well, apparently Lindy Ray ain't heard that saying. And so she started cutting them bangs, but the shape of this lady's face wasn't made for bangs. You know how some people's face is good for certain haircuts and some people's face is bad for certain haircuts? And then Lindy Ray got tinfoil in her hair, in this gal's hair, and some bleach, and kind of picked spots to highlight, I guess, like she took her best stab at highlighting maybe what she's seen in TV shows or movie house, or maybe, I mean, she work at Early Bird Gets the Perm at the front desk, so maybe she just peek over her shoulder sometimes and see what them professional gals are doing at work there and say, oh, I could probably do that, and she's just trying to do that. So that's what she's doing to this lady's hair. I mean, bangs are getting cut, there's tinfoil, there's bleach. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to any of it. Well, this gal's haircut with them bangs made her look like a bulldog, and then them spots made her look like a Dalmatian. Long story short, when folks is using dog breeds to describe your hair, it ain't going well. Lindy Ray is just trucking along. And you know how you spin somebody around in a chair so they can look at the mirror like, ta-da! Well, Lindy Ray spun that gal around, and about that time, Dillard walked in from the back room and screamed. You know, like she was getting robbed, or like she got cut with a big old knife, you know, when she was trying to slice a turkey, or, you know, it was a real scream kind of thing. The gal in the chair couldn't get nothing out. Like she was hyperventilation. Like was trying to find her breath just so she could then, in turn, make a noise. It was bad. Lindy Ray was kind of catching on that this was not going well, but she didn't see it. Like, it looked good to her. You know, you think if she's seen it and it's bad, she'd be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe what I've done. But Lindy Ray just soon walked this lady down Main Street and show her off, like, looky here what I did kind of thing. It looked good to her. But since she could tell something was wrong, you know, she was, I guess, borderline mediocre at reading emotions, and she put 2 and 3 together and was like, well, Dillandra's screaming. This lady can't even catch her breath. So you know, Lindy Ray chimed in, hey, you getting a discount? You know, like trying to remind her, like, it's okay, you getting a discount. Now, I don't know if it was supposed to ease her mind, like, oh yeah, I got bangs and blonde spots randomly on my head, but I ain't paying full price. Nope. And Dillandra is beside herself saying stuff like, I trusted you. You said you could do this. You know, things like that. And Lindy Ray is pretty sure she did mostly what she set out to do. So she said, I did. Like Lindy Ray's thinking, what's all the fuss about, you know? I performed beautifully. Look at those wonderful Dalmatian spots and them bulldog bangs. Ain't that great kind of thing, you know? I guess that's the kind of way she... So Dillandra's thinking she got to move on this quick. You know, the store's going to open soon, and they got this little specimen just got cut up and bleached up, and now she on show for everybody to see. So she tell that lady that she'll take care of her for free. That she can dye her hair back. She can at least get her hair back to one color so she ain't all spotted like that away. Like she like bleached with the mange, or I don't know. And the lady asked her about them bangs. What about them bangs? What in the world can be done about them bangs? And Dillandra said, I can't take them back. But that's going to take your hairline back. And, you know, if I did take them back, your hairline going to go back with it. That's a lot of forehead. But, I mean, we can try that. It might be okay. You ain't got a big forehead. You know, that's how Dillandra said it to her. So the whole reason she kind of looked like a bulldog with them bangs is that she ain't got a big forehead. You see how that goes? Because bulldogs, you know, it just kind of wrinkle up on you. You know, you think in your mind's eye of a bulldog just wrinkle up on. Well, think of a bulldog with little bangs, like it just fit the face perfect kind of thing. Anyways, she started crying. This gal, a little gal that might, you know, consider exposing more of her forehead, she started crying, and Dillandra tries to comfort her and says, I won't cut them back. Let's just leave them. Let's just leave them where they are, and everything gonna be just a-okay kind of thing. That's what she's saying. Then she says the dreaded words that folks with bad haircuts hate to hear. Let's just wait for it to grow out. You ever been there? You one of them kids that cut your own hair in the 1st grade? If you ain't, your own kiddo's done it. You know what I'm talking about. And then whoever cut their hair, somebody says, you can't do that. And then they see it, and either little kids don't always care. They're like, look good to me. Or if they hate it, you know, the only solution that's ever told them is, well, you just got to wait for it to grow out now. Ain't nothing we can do. Sometimes that's all you can do. That gal let Dillard dye her hair back to the original color, and then Gracie walk in, the early bird gets the perm to start her day. All Gracie sees is a terrible hairdo and Dillard's hands in that gal's hair. And they ain't open for business yet. And so Dillard and Gracie, they sisters. You know, that's Chet Dilroy's wife and Chet Dilroy's sister-in-law. And it didn't help none when Dillard told Gracie that she was just helping fix Lindy Ray's work. You see where this is going? Because that has Gracie asking, you know, why in the world was Lindy Ray working on anybody's head? Lindy Ray is on mannequin duty. She doing dummies. She doing heads that ain't attached to people that ain't even real heads. They just shaped like a real head with a little hair coming out so this girl can get practice. That's why she's doing appointments only and she ain't touching no real people's head. What is going on? You know, and Gracie's hot. And she's fired up because this is her livelihood. And she probably got to feel all kind of emotion because she walking into Early Bird Gets the Perm. It don't look right in the first place because it's under construction kind of thing. It's already a mess on the outside. She walk inside Early Bird Gets the Perm. Oh, it's a mess on the inside. Got bulldog bangs, no spots now, but they all up in that gal's hair. And Lindy Ray's there like bank, bank, you know, just deer in headlights because they talking about her. They ain't talking to her, but she's standing right in there. Well, one thing led to another, and that discount Lindy Ray offered turned into free, and Lindy Ray is back at appointments indefinitely. She should be glad, and you probably agree with me, but I don't know. You don't have to. She should be glad she still got a job. Because she trying to make her own rules, and then Dillard went with it. But, boy, I tell you, it was tense down there Early Bird Gets the Perm. That's the kind of stuff Mimo would have lived for to be in the middle of, just to see that whole tennis match go on. But I'm glad she wasn't there. And you'd think the day couldn't get worse at this point, but the day just got started. And Gracie had a color picked out for Early Bird Gets the Perm, and it's going to be the color of them shirts that I drawed, the ones they're going to pick. They picked out colors for the shirts, but I don't know if it's like full steam ahead. It's like, yeah, that'd be a pretty shirt, we'll see kind of thing. So, but Dillard don't like the color. That's the thing. So Gracie got a color. Dillard don't like it. It's like a salmon or a pink or whatever, and Dillard got a vote, but she ain't in good footing since she let Lindy Ray work on somebody. But she stood her ground, even though, you know, she looked pretty bad with her hands in the bulldog's hair. And it helped when other gals started coming in for appointments and looked at that color Gracie wanted and told her not to do it. It's too much pink. It's too salmon patty, whatever. So Dillard showed the gals what color she's thinking, more of a green, and that seemed to be the one. So that's how they're going to go once they get to that point. They just ain't there yet. It's like I don't even know what kind of green it is. I mean, I know I've seen the color. I don't know how to explain it. It ain't as dark as forest green, but it ain't like bright. It ain't neon or lime or nothing like that. I don't know what you call that kind of green. Maybe hunter green? I don't know. I can't even tell you what color hunter green is, though. It's lighter than forest green. I can tell you that. Kind of lightish greenish. Maybe they can come up with the name, and I can pass that along to y'all guys. So I decided to go fishing after lawns today, and I seen Rance Farnhart because he run a bait and tackle out there by the lake. His mama Sybil was an Early Bird Gets the Perm earlier that day, and she seen the logo I drawed and the colored Dillard pick, and she thinks it's going to look good, like real dynamite, you know, once it's all down there on the sign and everything. I said, speaking of dynamite, what's a guy got to use to catch a fish in this lake, Rance? You know, like that. And he told me to try crankbait. So I did, and it didn't take long for me to catch a log. I mean, the amount of money I spent on that crankbait and the amount of time I spent using it, it was not a good deal. It didn't last long. That log won, buddy. First, I try to walk this way, you know, one down the bank, and then I walk that way, and then finally I just yanked that line straight toward me, and it break loose. I ain't no quitter, but I am a good eater. And one of the best consolations of the fishing next to the bait and tackle shop out on that lake is they fish and chips. Rant's already fishing there, and he fries that up. He's already got them fish. It's not the, I don't know if that's stuff he pulling out the lake. I mean, some of it is, but I think some of that, like, he's serving up like what you do at restaurants, you know, like cod or something. And as far as I know, there ain't no cod in the lake out here by our town. But I was still out on the water, you know, even though I was on the patio or the bait and tackle eating fish and chips and enjoying the day. And there's a lot to be said about that, just being on the water. You know, sometimes it's just good to get out there. And, man, my line was in the water for a little bit till I lost that crankbait. Good to get out there, though. Clear the head a little bit, then get back to work. That's how it goes. You got my No Pro shirt. I bring the snacks. Today I didn't need to because I was right there by bait and tackle, and Rance was cooking it up. And, you know, I want to give him business, too. He's my buddy. So if you're having a rough day, maybe Bee House can make it better with Tavin's honey from bees. And if you're having a good day, this might be a good time to pick up a jar of honey while you're thinking about it. Thanks to Bee House for teaming up with me. It's a good time for honey. Speaking of that, it's about that time when I bid y'all see you later for the weeks. But I'll tell you, hey, if you didn't get your hair bleached, leopard spots, and bangs that you didn't want cut in this week, you're doing pretty good. Holler at me on the email or text me and let me know how you're doing. And until next time, friend, we'll see you later.